Hey everybody, it's Thursday, which means it's another episode of Naturally Unbothered. I am Shari, and our guest tonight is my sister friend. My sister friend. She is Miss Rochelle. This is my friend from high school, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this is my sister friend. She is one of my closest friends, and she knows not a little bit, but a lot of bit about sex. And it ain't because she been a hoe out in these streets. Please tell the people what you do. Please tell them what you do.
Absolutely. Actually a sexual health coordinator. I've been a teen pregnancy prevention coordinator as well. So I get the opportunity of teaching sex education. I talk about sexually transmitted infections as well as HIV testing, getting tested, teaching people how to actually perform an HIV test and other things as well. I do a lot of trainings based on that and other things sexually educated relation. Oh, take that out, Cherie.
I've not taken nothing out. You better keep on going.
Okay, but yeah, so pretty much anything you want to know and hear about, just come my way and I'll be able to help you. And if I can't, I guarantee you I'm gonna find you that answer.
You gonna find that answer.
Yes, I
Good.
am.
That's good. Well, thank you for being on the show. So for those of y'all that don't know, her daughter was on the show week before last day. That is her daughter, my godchild. So yeah, we finally talked her mom into being on the show. I mean, she's like the sex guru, and she like don't want to be on the show. But we got her. We got her nonetheless. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is I saw in the shade room there is a story about Sexy Red taking a picture of herself at the doctor's office talking about she trying to find out why her pussy stink.
Okay.
Now you know who Sexy Red is, right?
Yes.
And you know that like she is well known for going raw. She only like raw sex. She says it all the time. She been burnt numerous times
Okay.
because she like it raw. And some people like it raw.
True. They do. But she wanted to know why her pussy stink
Yeah,
and she's doing
that's
it wrong.
she put a picture with her at the doctor's office. It says me at the doctor's, waiting on her to tell me why my coochie stank.
So what you think about that?
I mean, I feel like if she probably got another STD and she just had a baby. So listen, after you have a baby, your pH is already out of whack, in the first place. It's already crazy anyway. So I just feel like, either your pH is off because of that, or she been having more raw sex.
Well, you know what though? I do have to commend her first of all for even going to the doctor because
Okay.
there's so many people that walk around with that stank cooch, but yet they won't go to the doctor. So for her to even be willing to say, I'm gonna go to the doctor to find out what's going on, and then to tell the whole world, that's a whole nother level right there. That's showing you, hey, at least I'm getting tested. So I'm not commending the fact that she's having the raw sex, but for the fact that she can go to the doctor and get her stuff checked out, that's all right.
That's all right.
Yes, that I am. Now, I mean, the next step is figure out what that is, but I would love to just talk to her and just I'm just so inquisitive about the raw sex and how many STIs that has come from the raw sex and the reason for not wanting to put on a condom or just be a little bit more safer.
I believe she was on lip service, and she just says she don't like the feel of them. She just don't like them, so she just don't use them. And no one's ever asked her, has she ever even been tested? I'm sure she has, but I don't think no one has even asked her that. Like when she's on the show, they're just so infatuated with the fact that she is walking around advertising, yo, I have raw sex. and
Yeah.
not even asking the important question, because it's not, I mean, the fact that you having raw sex, the important question is are you going to get checked? Like, when is the last time do you know your status? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So them partners, if I'm understanding you, you're talking about the partners. They're not even asking if she's when was the last time, show me the receipts or nothing like that. Now, to me, that would be a concern.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's having sex with her raw after, because she has said it on numerous podcasts, numerous interviews, that she's been burnt several times and that she's not gonna put on a condom. Like, I don't know how less do you love yourself as a man that you just gonna go up in her raw, knowing that she just out here frivolously having raw sex with just any and everybody.
And she telling you. That's
She
what
telling the
concerns me.
world. She
She
telling
telling the
everybody.
world, and you still ain't asking when you get ready to go up in that about, hey, wait a minute, when was the last time you was tested? And then people wonder why we got all these STIs going around.
Yeah,
That's a
I
reason.
just
But no judgment. I'm not gonna pass no judgment on it, because if she's saying it, she is. But I would love to talk to her to explain, or just even ask her, do you fully understand what these risks are? I mean, that could stop you from having another baby. You know what I'm saying? All those
it can
different things.
it
So
can do it can do all kinds of stuff. So
yes.
it just don't make sense to me. I just don't get it. It don't make sense to me. Like, I don't know. But I was also a married woman still using condoms in my marriage, because I mean, yeah, my first marriage, only time we didn't use condoms, we got pregnant. We had babies. Only times we didn't use condoms. We used
Really?
condoms. Yes, we used condoms except for when I was pregnant. We used condoms the yeah, just about the entire marriage. There was just very few times that we didn't use a condom. We did, but we didn't know any better. We married right out of high school. We were using condoms in high school. So we just continued it on as we were married. Even though we were married for 1,000 years, we still was using condoms. And then the 2 times that we didn't use condoms, we got kids. So
Dang,
like,
I did not know
pull
that. You
out
ain't
game
never told me
pull-out game was weak.
that. When everybody thought their game was a hard back then. Oh yeah, I got that
Yeah,
hard game.
yeah.
Yeah,
Pull-out game
right.
was too weak. I'm talking about weak.
So you didn't ever think about or consider a form of birth control?
I was on birth control. I
And
was
y'all
on birth
still use
control.
condoms?
Yeah, and no, this is the thing. Nobody told me otherwise. Nobody was like, "You get married, you don't wear condoms." Nobody didn't tell me that shit. I married out of high school. Nobody didn't tell me that shit. Nobody didn't tell his ass that shit either, because he didn't ever say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? We just was like, on the 2 times it was like a winter storm, like, oh, it's cold. Let's just, we don't got no condom, just pull out. We got pregnant. Like, each time it was a storm, because we was up in North Dakota, it was a
Yep.
storm. Just pull out. You know what I'm saying? And nah, we weren't pulling out. We got babies, 2 babies from that shit. So
His pull out game wasn't
this
on
black
point
game
at
was
that time
horrible.
though.
Yeah, but see, well, Jayana, we were trying to have her. So there was a period of time where we didn't have protected sex. It was like a period of time when we were trying to conceive her. So there was some times, but it was very far and few between. We was using condoms still.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry to hear about that. Look, dang. I'm
Nobody
like, dang,
told
married for
me.
what was that,
Nobody.
20?
We
10?
was together for 11 years, but nobody told me like, "Yo, you married now. Y'all don't gotta use condoms." I mean, no, nobody told me. So we were still using condoms. And like I said, he didn't say anything different. So he wasn't saying like, "Let me take the condom off." Like, he didn't say nothing. So that's how we was having sex for a
This
long
is why
time.
these conversations are necessary.
Yeah.
Sure. But now I feel like it's talked more openly about having about sex in general than like when we got out of high school. When we got out of high school, it was more so, even in high school, it was like your parents were the ones that would be like, when you get ready to have sex, let me know. Well, when I get
Mm-hmm.
ready, it's gonna be too late because I'm ready in that moment. So it was
Right.
those things, we didn't have those conversations and say, hey, baby, when you get older, this is what you need to look out for. Or make sure, even just in pleasing yourself in general, we didn't have those conversations. Parents were uncomfortable having those conversations. Not only just for one, I think they were uncomfortable because their parents didn't talk about it with them.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. I agree. Yeah, but I mean, well, not my parents, my mom, she had those conversations with me. That's why when I was ready to have sex, I didn't go to her. I was supposed to go to her. I didn't go to her. I went to
wasn't
my
we
older
all?
sister. I went to my older sister, and my older sister went and put me on birth control. Like, so I mean, so we did have those conversations. Like, when you're ready, just let me know. I didn't have those conversations with my girls. I just put them on birth control. Yeah,
Okay.
I just put them on birth control. They one of movements made me know that she needed to be on birth control.
Tell me what that looked like.
I mean, we had conversations, but we didn't have the when you're ready to have sex conversation. I'll put you on it. No, it was literally, oh, I don't like the way you moving. You doing a little too much. I can tell some boys are sniffing up behind you. Let's go ahead and get you on something.
And how did she feel about that though?
She was upset. She was very upset. She was upset, and her daddy was upset. But then when we found out what she was doing, he was like, "I'm glad you put her on it." Oh, okay.
But has she done anything before then?
I don't think she'll admit to it, but she was doing stuff. She was doing enough stuff for me to be like, yo, we need to go do something.
So just in terms of vernacular, just real old schooling it, that was that first base, second base kind of feel. I want to know what exactly.
I feel like she was about second base. I think she was about second base in it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because when you're not where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be somewhere, that's how it's started with us girls. Your mom, you like, yeah, mom's gonna pick me up at such and such time. But then she don't show up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like calling, like, where you at? Where you at? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it started to be little stuff like that. And I was like, the movement is different. The movement is different. Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? I do know parents that have done that before, especially like when we were growing up. They more so said, well, let me just put you on it. But sometimes I think that was out of avoidance of having a conversation. The conversation first before just saying, but like, say like for what my daughter with Day, literally, I started teaching her all about it early on, way early, even in giving her the names of this isn't just because think when we were growing up, we called it private. But why are we shaming women from the start was my first thing. So I told her all the little words, the cookie, all them things that everybody say that what they are. Because I wanted to make sure that she know that if somebody ever like, oh, can I have some of your cookie? And you talking about, oh yeah. You gonna know what the heck they talking about. So then, so she didn't just know. I mean, she literally knew all the slang and knew the proper word was not pussy, but vagina. For one, your whole vulva. And even teaching them that the vulva is on the inside. So many females don't even understand that. They think, oh my gosh, the vulva is actually on the outside, but they think the vagina is what's on the outside. And that amazes me.
It's I don't know how far. I'm Karen. Hi, sorry.
Hi, Karen.
I just got out of class. I really admire and respect the fact that as mothers, you guys had those conversations because interestingly and oddly enough, I guess this is slightly age dating. I went to the videos. And you had the movies in school where they talk to you about your reproductive systems, and you'll begin to menstruate. It's like that word used to make like, ugh.
Yeah. And about sixth grade, they start showing them around sixth grade.
I think we had like fifth grade. Yeah. And I remember,
Fifth and sixth.
Yeah. And I remember my mom signing the permission slip so I could see it, but my mother never said anything. And oddly enough, when I got my period in the fifth grade, it was almost like my mother choked. My mother, my superhero, choked. And she couldn't say anything. And several years later, when my sister got her period, she was like, go tell your sister what's going on. I'm like, that's not my job, lady. That's your job. Like, that's not what I do. But it's that, I think it stems from their discomfort in
Absolutely.
what the package. A friend of mine told me, she's from the Caribbean. Her mother said her package. What how comfortable you are with your sexuality and what that means. So I think that's something, that whole stigma that has for generations been passed down to don't let anyone see you or hiding. It's just it's sad and frightening because it creates this ripple effect.
Absolutely. And then we continue to have generations after generations that know nothing about it. They don't
Absolutely.
understand their own body. They don't understand how it works. And this is a shameful thing. I shouldn't talk about my body. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't actually call it what it is. Because if I say vagina, forbid, think about it, if we're in a grocery store and somebody's like, I heard a kid one time say this in the grocery store. And she's like, Mom, my vagina hurt. And people like, oh my God. And I'm sitting here saying, that's the proper word. What's the problem? She's telling you what hurts.
Yeah, she's telling you something. Listen.
Why are we teaching them to be shameful and say, oh, my pocketbook?
When I started my period, because my mom had told me so much and my sisters had told me so, when I started my period in the 5th grade, everybody woke up to bloody draws in their face. I ran across the house like everybody's face. I ran around the whole house. Everybody had bloody panties in their face. I was so excited. I was like, I'm the woman. Here's my period.
Oh my God. That is that's a beautiful thing. It really is. Because
my brother was so mad at me. He was like, you are so gross. And my brother's 10 years older than me. He's like, you're so gross. Like, yeah, I was so excited. I was running around the house. I could not wait. I knew where the pads was. Because my sister, she made me this little bag. And it had pads in it. It had some little wipes in it. It had like an extra pair of panties. Yeah, my sisters are older than me. So like I'm the baby. And so she had this little pouch, and it had all these little things for me. She was like, you take it to school and you make sure you had like everything. So even when I didn't get to have the administration conversation with my kids, because one summer, I think my niece started her period first. And so my sister had to talk with all 3 of them because they were there for the summer. So she gave them all the same little things she had gave me and everything. So I did not have that talk with them. When I attempted to have that talk, they was like, "Oh, Aunt Christy already talked to us about it," and I was like, "Okay."
Do you feel like you missed something?
No, I was just like, "Do y'all have any questions?" No, because because as long as they get the conversation, I don't care. Yeah. Like I taught my son and my nephew how to use condoms. Like, I thought they were mature enough. They were 12. I was like, let me show you guys what the condoms are, how to use. Hey, they went to school in white schools, and they already sucking dick and doing shit by 12. Okay, it's not. You're right. It's not like when we grew up.
That's true.
They already was, because my son had his dick sucked probably 4 or 5 years before he even had sex. Like,
you're totally correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I like those, I taught him and my little nephew how to, properly put the roll the condom down and everything. And the reason why I said they weren't ready for it is because when the next day when I woke up, the whole 12-pack of condoms were water balloons. They done blew them up. Them shits was all over the place. And I was like, they ain't ready.
Well, first of all, thank you for having that conversation, because a lot of people don't understand and realize that you do need to be shown how to put the condom on. It ain't no just here and go for it, because if that's the case, we wouldn't have as many unintended pregnancies that we have, talking about the condom and births. Okay. Mm-hmm. If they knew actually the proper way to put the condom on.
True. So what's interesting.
We had cucumbers and everything. I was like, pinch the top, roll it down. Like no
fruit, no vegetables. Next time you need that, let me send you a demonstrator because I use
Well,
demonstrators.
listen, back in the day, we was not, and his mama was super religious. My nephew, if I would have been like, "Here's a demonstrator," his mama probably would have freaked the hell out and like, "You ain't never going to her house again." So they learned on cucumbers,
which is how we were taught. I think we were taught that at Kerr. Yeah. And when they did, I didn't look at vegetables the same ever again. And my thing is, why are we ashamed of what the body part is like in this day? Because people still have problems with showing their kid. I'm like, here, I'll give you a plastic one, a wooden one. What you want? You want literally like the dildos? What do you want? I will give it to you just to show them. And sometimes the dads be like, ain't nothing to show them. And I'd be like, have you ever had a condom burst on you? Has it ever busted on you? There's a reason why, there's a way to do. But I even show and teach the kids how to make a dental dam out of it too. So they can do that. Oh, yeah.
It was interesting, but two things are interesting to me. When I was teaching, and this is like a bunch of years back, I was teaching fourth grade, third grade, fourth grade, and the kids were having cookie parties, going to people's houses. They were fourth graders and fifth graders, and they were fourth graders, and they were going to each other's houses during playing hooky and having sex. Now, it wasn't totally weird because at that time I was teaching family living and sex education. It was a little stunning to think that the second graders were filling each other up, but the fourth and fifth graders were actually having intercourse. That was a little like cringy, but it made it that much more kind of like relevant for what I'm doing in this family living and sex education is really relevant. And as much as parents go, oh, that's not my baby. That's not my baby. Your baby's out there getting their dicks up. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. No need to be sorry. It's sorry to the parent who's not teaching the child. Because I know when I have to get permission for them to attend the classes, the parents will be like, oh, no, my kid doesn't need that. They're not ready for that. And I just be like, oh, really? So I'd ask to have a talk with them. I'm like, do you want me to teach them or you want the kids on the playground to teach them? Because about 3 years ago, elementary here in Oklahoma was literally kindergarten through sixth grade. So if I'm teaching sixth grade, they're being intimate with somebody. Yep. So who do you want?
Or they're watching. That's what I was doing.
Their kid is the one that literally can tell me all about it. And their parent thinking they don't know nothing. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So, in your program, how far does it go with the kindergartners? Because I know when I just was teaching the kindergartners, that was heart gripping to know, to discover how much they knew and what they had seen and how they were going out of their way to watch porn. That was alarming for me.
So that means they're being introduced somehow, some way.
Exactly. And now here's a full stop on this one. That was over 20 years ago.
I was going to ask you how long ago. So I don't actually teach kindergarten. I was given that in reference to the age group that I'm teaching. The schools here were considered elementary from K through sixth grade. So I would go in and teach the sixth grade. The youngest that I've taught, though, was actually fifth graders. And there's a lot that was going on. And in that, what I got from that is a lot of information. A lot of times students don't even know or understand that they may be doing something that they shouldn't be doing, or a family member may be doing something to them that shouldn't be occurring until I teach them, because they had never heard that, oh my goodness, that's a bad thing. And I've had these, literally, this has come back to me from my classes where the student is like, I can watch their behavior. And I noticed with a particular student before that literally they were stating that every time I mentioned the word oral sex, literally their head would just go down every time. And so I teach. So I learn, the way that I teach is based off your behavior. I'm listening, I'm watching your body language. And when I begin to notice, I'm like, every time I say this and this happens. Come to find out the person was being sexually basically abused by her. I don't even want to say what relationship the person was, but it was that close to her. And they didn't realize it because they didn't have a word to put with it. So therefore, when I taught, they were like, oh, so when we talk about sex ed not being in schools, and I'm like, but if we're finding out this kind of stuff that's going on, this is incest. What are we talking about here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cause I think I had my kids watch Good Touch, Bad Touch. second grade. Second grade is when I had my kids watch Good Touch, Bad Touch.
That's good.
So
I've heard of that. Is that on a Netflix thing or what is that?
well, it's not Netflix because it was my kids is old. No. No, there was a video that you could rent from the library. It's called Good Touch, Bad Touch, and there's like a little booklet that comes with it and everything. So yeah, I just rented it from the library, and then when they were in seventh grade, I showed them the videos, the ones that they show you in school, and they be like, "This is the STD, and this is what it does to you," and like the horror stuff.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, Cherie. Let me ask this question to both of y'all. Do you all think that when teaching about sex, that it's important to use pictures when teaching the youth?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you know, I think for me, it's like, yes, graphics are important because we live in a very visual oriented world. I think depending upon, and this is a point of conversation, depending upon the age range, I think depends upon the nature of how graphic it is that you're going to do it. Are you going to make it, and I don't want to say anime because anime is so pornrific. Are you going to make it cartoonish? You know what I'm saying? Or are you going to show a male and a man and a woman actually, you know, here's where it is, here's the insertion, that kind of thing. Or how do we do that? That it's a point where they're not going to go and talk about it.
I think insertion in elementary school is too much.
And I know I'm not even talking about that. My question is regarding, do you show pictures? I was referring to STIs. And I'm not referring to kindergarten.
Yes.
I'm referring
because
to,
that's the reason why I wasn't sucking dick in high school. That's why
because of pictures.
Yeah, because we had to watch them fucking horror videos. They was like, you can get these warts on your mouth if you suck the dick. I'm like, listen, my first husband barely got his dick sucked. I still was in shock.
Guy, he didn't get to have sex without the rubber. He did.
Wait a minute. So what you meant that
like dick sucked on holidays? I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Special occasions. Oh my goodness.
Oh no. That's horrible.
Okay.
So are we talking herpes simplex, herpes 1, simplex 1, 2? We're talking about like all the.
Do you know back in the day when the videos, they didn't tell you that there were different types of herpes. They didn't tell you that back in the day. It's herpes. This big ass bump on your mouth is what this is. And so putting your dick in my mouth, in my mouth, are you crazy? I mean, a big ass wart, you know, because anytime if somebody came to school with just a cold sore, they'd be like, oh, she was sucking dick. Oh, she was sucking dick. Like, no, I'm not doing none of that shit. No, I wasn't doing none of that.
No, I think my mother horrorized everything. It's like, do you want to have that on your face for the rest of your life? My mother, no, lies. My mother even, dick sucking was not even a part of my mother's repertoire. My mother never even, I swear to God, I don't think my mother even said anything to me about sex. I said to her, I remember I was at BU and I said, oh yeah, by the way, I went to the UC to get some birth control. And she was like, well, why do you need birth control? I said, of course, to control birth.
Good answer.
And she was like, okay. And there was never a conversation.
My mom would have had a whole conversation with me. She would have had a whole conversation with me. And the crazy part about it was I was the most prepared for sex out of all of my friends, and I was the first one to get pregnant.
She said you had the moves.
My sister said when we went and got the pills, when we came back from Planned Parenthood, she said, don't have sex until after 30 days, after you've been taking these every day, same time, every day for 30 days, the pill. And I was like, okay. So when my 30 days was up, I was like, okay, sister, my 30 days is up. I'm ready. And she was like, okay, you know, make sure y'all wear a condom. Like, she just told me everything. I was like, okay, great. But the thing about it, because I was so young, how I ended up getting pregnant was a condom break, and I was on antibiotics. And no one asked me when I was that young, hey, are you on antibiotics? I mean, are you on birth control pills when they gave me the antibiotics? No one asked me that. And so here we are, condom break, fresh on the pill, fresh on the pill. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even, it's in my system, but it ain't, not yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I ended up getting pregnant. But I was the one that I was patient. I told him, I was like, my sister said we gotta wait 30 days. Like he was like, okay, we'll wait. Like we was responsible, and we still ended up pregnant. We was the first ones pregnant. And when came back, everybody was like, you pregnant? I was like,
I don't know how this happened. I have no idea.
And the crazy part about my pregnancy was I didn't even know until I was 6 months pregnant, because I still was having my period. So, I was still having a period. I didn't gain any weight. I still had abs. I was still playing sports. I was just out here.
Had abs?
Oh yeah, I had abs until I was like 7.5 months pregnant. Yes, I still had abs. Yes, because I was very athletic back then.
Is that a younger pregnancy thing?
Yeah, I don't know, but
I think so.
Yeah, I still had abs.
Because I did.
35-year-old with abs, pregnant and with abs.
Oh, I still had abs, honey. And then as soon as I had him, soon the baby was gone, the abs was right back. It looked like I never even had a baby. I had one stretch mark. I had one stretch mark on my belly button, and that was it. Yeah.
Wow. I think that has to do with age, because Sheree and myself had babies at young ages, and literally, I think that was it, because literally I bounced right back. And I was like, dang. When I went to deliver, they didn't even know I was having a baby. They was like, what can we help you with? And I was like, I'm walking around talking about, I'm here to have a baby. I'm checking it all out. And they're like, a baby. They start getting a wheelchair. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm just having contractions. What are we doing?
Calm down,
Huh?
How old were you?
17.
Yeah, I was 15.
It's the collagen.
I was 15.
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, I was 15 when I had mine. But when I was in labor, they knew I was in labor, honey. It was as soon as I came through the door, they was like, "Oh, hurry up!" Because as soon as they got me on the table and spread my legs apart and checked me, he was ready to come out. Like I was only in labor for like an hour and like 45 minutes. Like that.
How much did he weigh?
He weighed 6 pounds and 2 ounces.
Wow, that's light.
Yeah.
So she's like, "I'm here for the lunch and birth. Can I get a burger, fries, and a baby, please?" Yeah,
but yeah. So when people found out that I had a baby when I came back to Oklahoma, and everybody was like, "What? Did you leave to go have a baby?" Like I found out I was pregnant in September, and I had him in December. Like it was
but
just that fast.
Kudos to Christy.
Yeah.
For being able to talk you through all of that and tell you about the 30 days and make sure you got the birth control in your system. Yep. Do you know how many people go out here and get put on birth control and the doctors don't educate them that much, or they're just not being told? So for you to even I don't know if the doctor told you or if it was just Christy.
My sister told me. My sister told me everything. Like even the first time I used a tampon, my sister and her mom, they took me in the bathroom because they didn't have pads, and my period started at their house. They didn't wear pads. And so my sister was like, she called my mom and was like, there's no pads here. We're going to show her, but after because it was a whole party going on, but after the party, we're going to go get her some pads, but we got to do something for now. So yeah, they took me in the bathroom and showed me how to insert it and everything.
That first tampon lesson is crazy, man. So you want me to put that in there?
Now I did have the pleasure of teaching both of my girls how to use tampons. I definitely did. And then it was my older one. She can't even swallow pills. So it was such a task. It was such a task getting her to put the tampon in. It was such a task. It was such a task.
It's so funny you remember those things. I remember the first time having to, are you going to do a pad? You're going to do the tampon. I was going to a swim meet and I had a yellow swimsuit, and my mother said, well, I can make you a bathing suit, sanitary napkin, and it might leak a little, or you can have, or it might leak on your yellow bathing suit, or you can put the tampon in. What you want to do? I'm not forcing you to do anything. And I'm like, leak, yellow, leak, yellow. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. I was like, and then it's like, I don't know. That is, you never
And then,
forget. There's certain life
yeah, and then
don't forget.
my youngest, she wasn't putting it in all the way, so she was like, I can feel it, like the whole time. I can feel it. I'm like, okay, go back in the bathroom, take that one out. Let's try another one. Like we went through so many tampons. We went through so many. But yeah, I did have the tampon experience with them. But
That is
everything
great.
else, they was doing everything else on their own. Like they auntie, she had and my mom too, because my mom, I mean, my mom just, I don't think anyone talked to my mom about it because my mom had my brother when she was 13. So like we just have a history of young ass parents in my family.
Okay.
And so I just like when I had my own kids, I was like, y'all, I just really want to break the cycle, please. Please, can we please break the cycle? Can y'all please wait until y'all 18 to have sex? Please try y'all best. Like, please. And so my son, like, he was already getting his dick sucked, but he wasn't fucking. But when he turned 18 and blew out the candle, he told me what that blow out the candle was. And he told me, I have met your requirements. He said that? I'm getting some pussy. He told me that, Mom, I'm having sex. I did what you asked. And that's what he told me.
Matter of fact, can we be done with this party? Because I got somewhere to go.
He's like, I have a date, a very important date.
Listen, I honestly believe that if we weren't in the mountains for his birthday, he would have got some on that day. Yes. And my mom was like, and it was taking him longer to still took him a couple months after his 18th birthday to have sex. And my mom was like, hey, I just need to get him a stripper or something because I don't need him going to the army being a virgin. Like he needs somebody need to pop his cherry because he can't go to the army and be a virgin. And so
why is that bad?
Good question. Okay.
I'm not being
because
funny.
Military chicks, my son is a very handsome guy. Military chicks would have turned his little ass out. He would have been giving his paychecks away and shit. You know, I mean, I didn't want him to have to be with a stripper, but my mama she told my ex-husband, she was like, listen, if you don't get none by the time he go, I'm sending you money. You're gonna get a stripper and they gonna take his virginity.
We need a pro to come in.
I know, right? Get the pro though, not just anyone, okay?
But he did. I mean, he did lose his virginity. I literally was like, "What you do today, son?" He was like, "Oh, I lost my virginity today," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like,
"All right, well, you careful? Did you look both ways?"
Yeah, I did. I said, "You wore the condoms I bought you?" He said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "Okay."
You know,
and I went in my room and cried. I was in there crying like,
your baby.
You got a whole grown man now, and look, still crying. Look, hey, I'm proud of him.
Yeah. I have a friend who gave her son his junior year in high school condoms. She just gave them to him. She said, "Well, I think," or he came. He says, "Mom, I think I need condoms." And she was like, "Are you having sex?" She says, "No, I just want to get some for later." And it was just like, "Here's a box of Magnums." And no, first she got him regular Trojans, and he says, "I think those are too small." And then she was like, and so she went and got him some Magnums, and she was, "Well, how's that?" And so I think he was practicing in the bedroom. But I think, and I hear you ladies talk about how you showed the young men exactly how to outfit the condom. And it's not just here's a box of Magnums, go forth and multiply. But I think that's really important. That's super important.
Yeah, like I definitely, I mean, I just did not want to be a grandmother. I did not want to take care of any more babies. Like I have been a parent since I was 15 years old. I don't want to raise your kids. So I was like, please just come on, like just don't, let's not do this. So no one had a kid until they were in their 20s. Like my son was 21 and my daughter just had one last year at 23. So, I'm just happy that they just met the obligation. The last one is about to be 21 next month. And so I'm just like, thank y'all. I just thank y'all. I still didn't want to be a grandparent before 40, but my son was 21. He was grown. So whatever, but still. I was just like, just please don't do this. Come on, just let's break this cycle. Please, let's break it.
And y'all did it. That's good.
Yeah. I'm like, let's just break it. Like, come on. Y'all can, I promise you, y'all don't want to do this because I don't want to have to take care of y'all kid and y'all. I just don't want to.
Absolutely.
So
yes.
I was very, very thankful. I was thankful for that. And my godchildren, because all of my godchildren are all products of teenage mothers, all of them, except for the last two. But they're all, and I can 100% say every single one of them waited until they were grown to have kids, and I was just like so proud. I'm so proud of all of them, and I have 1,000 goddaughters, and so I'm just like every single one of them. All of them waited, and I'm just so thankful because like times is just different. We all helped each other out. We did. Like I would come and pick the kids up and take them, and they would pick up mine. Like we just was like a whole little baby mama community over here. Like
no, for real. Like she was picking up my daughter to take her to the football game. She's like, no, we're gonna go to the football game together. And I'm like, thank you. That gave me some time. So,
I used to come and get the kids all the time. I'd be like, yo, we just going to the park. And I just go pick up all the kids. I'm telling you, I have my little Grand Prix, and I put all of their asses in the back because back then they didn't have to work hard; they didn't have to use car seat. So it be all my damn goddaughters. They all be in the car. It be my son because he was the only boy, and it be all them girls in the car. And we just gone to the park, gone to do whatever. I just used to always come and pick them up and take them everywhere and be like, let's go, y'all.
But that's a whole nother conversation about community and helping women and helping each other parent and move through that. That's a whole nother level of conversation.
That is
community and communication and caring. So,
because I don't even know if Cherie knows that's what she was actually doing in the moment when we were that young. That hey, we're building community. Like that's what it's called now.
I had a whole lot of help. Like I didn't even have my kid on the weekends. Like I had a lot of help. And so so I just wanted. I mean, these are my friends. Like I just wanted to help them. Help them too. I will say I didn't have any friends who had babies whose parents was like, get out, or I'm not going to help you. Like they didn't have those kind of parents, but still they did have parents to be like, you better take that baby with you, and they didn't have to
with you.
And so I know, right? Like, well, I'm the godmama, so just call me, I'll come get them, and I would just get them. Like, I just did. Like,
but they was my godbabies. Yeah, kids played outside then too. It was we were in a whole different world. So it was easier to assist.
I would not want to raise kids right now. It's a very different
dynamic.
I would not.
I don't know
how I love the way that my son and his wife parent. Like I love the way they talk to the kids. I love how when they be my granddaughter, she is like off the chain. And when she just be wilding out, they just look at her. They just look at her like, are you done? Okay, now let's talk about why you felt like you needed to do that. And I would be like,
love it.
Up off this ground. What the hell is wrong with you?
Oh, that's a different generation. Or you don't get up that phone. I'm going to give you something.
Patient. They are so patient. They be looking at her like, and when I tell you she off the chain, she is off the chain. And they just let her do whatever it is, and then they be like, you finish? And then they talk to her about it. And then they be like, now go on in your room and finish your moment and come back out when you're ready. And I'm be like, no, I would have been, you would have got popped. Like, what is you doing? You gonna get popped.
So that happens in the street too?
Yes.
They let her.
No, she don't act up like that in the street. But she used to at one point, but she don't. But when she at the house, she's something else. Oh, that thing is special. She is so special. My son told me, because she just had a birthday on Cinco de Mayo. My son told me, he said, Mom, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He was like, I'm just trying to make sure I keep her off the pole, Mom, because she's something else. He was like, Mom, I don't know what to do. He was like, I don't know what to do with her. I said, I don't know what to tell you what to do because y'all don't spank her. I've been on beat her ass, so I don't know.
How old is she?
She just turned 7. She just turned 7. Yes.
And we don't know what to do. Okay.
She off the chain. That thing is off the chain.
Yeah,
She literally will call me, and if she don't like what I got to say, she will hang up in my face. That thing is off the chain. She is off the chain.
But you know what I do like about what they're doing though is that they're not just allowing it to happen. First of all, they may not be spanking her or whooping her butt or whatever, but
she got consequences.
I love the fact that they come back, they let her do, and then say, "But what made you do that?"
Yeah,
and inquiring, getting information from her. Tell me why you felt that you needed to act like that. For one, they're going to start connecting her emotions and think, well, she will be able to on why am I feeling like this. So she will actually be able to verbalize how she is feeling very well
using her words.
She's learned to speak it. Now.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, and when she gets too out of control, they'll clear everything out her room like I used to do to him. Clear out everything. You ain't got nothing in there but the bed. Like they'll do that stuff now. They'll take their stuff away and stuff like that, but they don't spank them. They do not spank them. They will not put their hands on them. And and they've never told me that I can't put my hands on them. But they never told me that I couldn't. But I told them if y'all don't want me to put my hands on y'all kids, then don't bring them to my house. Because if they act crazy, they're gonna get popped. But when they around me, they act like angels. They don't do nothing.
That's how it happened with us.
They know they're gonna get popped.
They like angels. They like perfect angels. And then when I leave, they be like, what? I'd be like, they don't act like that with me. Like my grandson pulled down the whole Christmas tree. I'm talking about drug that mug, pulled it down at his other grandma's house. And I said, I got up 4 Christmas trees. That man don't touch no trees in my house. He don't touch nothing. She done put up all her little knickknacks and shit. I was like,
oh no,
around here, I ain't putting up stuff for no kid.
See, my mama didn't go for that. She was like, no, they need to learn not to touch it.
Yeah.
But my grandson is 6 and I've never ever had to spank him ever. And literally he will obey me more than he will his mother though. And all I do is look at him too.
But you know, it's a different level of authority. It's a different way of speaking to them. It's a different way of totally handling and managing them. And I think it's like my mother used to say, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm your mother. Right. And I was like, I think she's a little crazy now. I always thought she was a little bit crazy and a little bit on the scary side. But, you know, she goes, I am your best friend, but I'm not your playmate. And I'm not here you don't treat me like your little friends out here in the street. So it was a different kind of thing. So I think, I think to myself now, if I had children, you know, my mother would be a different kind of grandma. I don't think she'd be as mean to them. Honestly.
Now, my mom, them kids can do whatever they want. And that's why my grandkids, they can do whatever they want. I let them do whatever they want. I buy them candy and shit. My kids never got no candy. They never got candy.
What? You send them home loaded with sugar?
Exactly.
I will go to the grocery store and buy every single piece of candy in the candy aisle and give it to their asses. But my kids never, they be like, oh, she would never do that for us. I sure wouldn't. Because why? Because you was mine and I had to deal with you. I don't got to deal with them. So I'll buy every damn thing and take their asses and give them everything. Send them all kinds of crap. Like, let them jump.
Send them home.
I let them jump on the furniture. I don't care. Like, I let them do all that stuff because I let my kids do that stuff. They used to ride their bikes in the house. Like, I don't care about none of that stuff. Like, listen, don't break my shit. Do everything, but I don't let them play with balls in the house. That's the only thing, because balls are too unpredictable. That's the only thing that they weren't allowed to do is have balls in the house.
As though kids aren't unpredictable. And what they finna do. But
a bouncing ball can break up all kind of shit. So I'm just like, no balls in the house. Yeah. So y'all know we're gonna have to do a part 2 to this show because we didn't even talk about what we were supposed to talk about, and we already thought about that of this show. So we're gonna have to schedule a part 2.
But good conversation though.
Great conversation. Yes.
Great
And maybe next
conversation.
time we'll stay on topic, but it was just so good on all of them. We're going to have to pick one of them. Look, because we went through a few of them.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
okay with scheduling another one. I'm good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
absolutely.
schedule a part 2 in June.
Absolutely.
So please tell my listeners or our listeners, Miss Rochelle, how to find you. If you want them to follow you, she don't be on social media, but just
Sure don't. I don't be
She
on
got
social
one.
media.
So
So I know I don't. I really will start though. Trust me, I will. But if you'd like to reach me, you can always reach out to my email. And that's just Rochelle Fells. It's ROCHELLE. F is in Frank, AILS at yahoo.com.
Right. All right.
All right. All right. And Miss Karen, tell the folks.
I can be reached on TikTok a lot. I'm hot on TikTok these days.
You hot now?
Hot as Wink Blink Flirt on TikTok, as well as not so much. I'm kind of chilling, cooling on Instagram, but also too on YouTube. We've started a new endeavor called Girl Bye, which is a podcast for women about women's topics. So instead of the topics that we talked about in our 20s and the concerns that we had in our 20s. And Sherry's one of the cast members who comes through on Girl Bye. We talk about all the things that appeal, I don't want to say appeal, but that interest and concern women over the age of 40. Everything from friendships to faking orgasms.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. This month we're talking about.
It's a fun cast. It's a fun
vibe.
cast. Yeah,
it really is. Yeah. This month we'll be talking about mothers and daughters.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Look,
so come join.
Yes.
Come follow us.
That's nice. I will do. Cherie. Yes, we have to schedule for another one because we did not stay on topic.
Yeah, we did not. It's okay. It's okay. Well, thank you guys for listening and tuning in. You guys can follow Naturally Unbothered on Spotify, on iHeart, on Apple. We are on everywhere that podcasts are streamed. We are also on YouTube. Please rate, subscribe, leave us a review. If you're looking for Naturally Unbothered merchandise, we have the naturallyunbothered.com is where you will find all of our merch. And, just tell your hoe ass friends to tell their hoe ass friends to tune in to Naturally Unbothered. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.